I meant to make this video yesterday, but I ended up staying home, not running, because I didn't have a babysitter. It actually worked out okay because I wasn't feeling too good, but so this is my 3-month review of ownership of my 2019 F350 powerstroke 6.7 diesel. So technically yesterday was 3 months, but I only ran around town, so I didn't add like a lot of miles to it. I'm on my way now down to Middlebury to pick up a camper. So currently the truck's sitting at 137,231 miles. I bought it with 113,000 and some change. So I've put in the 3 months of owning it, I have put 23,372 miles on it. So, what is that? Just under 8,000 miles a month on average. So if you're new to the channel, I do RV transport with it. So, and then it's also my daily driver. So it sees a good amount of miles every week. I'm usually doing 3 to 4. I think I actually technically average 3.5 loads per week. I started this in November, and at the time I had a different truck. It was a 2015 F350 powerstroke, and I upgraded to this one because it had the long bed. It had a larger fuel tank from the factory, the 48 gallon. It's a platinum. My other one was a Lariat. I always wanted a platinum. I love all the options on it. I love the way the platinums look, so I went ahead and did that. The last truck was fine. I really liked the 6.7, so I knew I wanted to stick with that, the 6.7 powerstroke that is. I've had background on ownership of diesels. I've had a ton of diesels. I've had 7.3, 6.0 powerstroke, 6.4 powerstroke, 2 6.7 powerstrokes now. I had a 6.7 Cummins, and I had a 3-liter Eco Diesel Ram as well. So I like the Rams. They're nice. I think the Fords are more fun to drive. I think they have a lot more power. As far as reliability goes, my Ram wasn't bad. It was, for the most part, it was reliable. I had like a heater core go out in it that I had to replace. It's a pretty common issue. Mine was a 2016, so and then I had a coolant leak that I ended up trading in. I didn't track it down. I got a good trading value during COVID, and then a few other little issues. So my last 6.7 powerstroke, I traded it in at 204,000 miles. And I had some sensors, but I bought that one used as well. And the previous owner used, I don't know, kind of hack job it, and I didn't see it when I first bought it, but a lot of the wiring was messed with for lighting, and they added like a cheap train horn and stuff. So I think a lot of the issues there wasn't a lot of issues, but the issues that I did have with my last 6.7, I think were related to the previous owner. So, because it was just like little sensors and electrical things, and then the float in the DEF tank stuck one time, and I ended up getting it deleted, so that I didn't have to get that fixed. It actually ended up fixing itself on the way to getting it deleted, but I decided just to delete it anyways. So this truck, it was all stock when I bought it. I did get it deleted roughly like 2 weeks after I bought it, and I just did that because I didn't want to have any issues with the truck. I know that I bought it with 113,000 some change. Like that's could be time when some of that emissions related equipment started having issues, and I knew that doing RV transport, I was going to be putting a lot of miles on. I didn't want to break down anywhere, and also I didn't want to have to buy DEF fluid. As silly as that trucks, and I used to keep DEF fluid in the truck with me, and it's like the newer the truck, I feel like the more DEF fluid it sucks down. I had a brand new 2022 Ram Eco Diesel 3-liter, and I used to tow my work trailer with that every day, you know, probably on average like 500 to 1,000 miles a week in the summertime and springtime and fall. And that truck, I was putting DEF fluid in it like every week, every other week, and it's just like it, you know, I felt like I was constant. It was almost like filling up gas. I was constantly looking for DEF fluid, buying DEF fluid. So I figured with the amount of miles I'm putting on this truck, amount of driving I'm doing, the Delete's gonna pay for itself by not having to buy DEF fluid, and also, you know, the peace of mind of not having to worry about the emissions related issue. The small increase in mile per gallon, I think that's probably, you know, somewhere in like that 20% range at best. A lot of that has to do with how you drive, but I would say I gained about 20% fuel mileage increase by doing the Deletes, especially like if it was doing a regen. The mile per gallon on this truck was better than my 2015 stock versus stock, and even stock versus my 2015 deleted. My mile per, but that one had 35s, but my mile per gallon was better on this truck. But when it would do a regen, that mile per gallon just tanked. So not having to worry about it doing a regen and, you know, sucking down the fuel during the regen, I just think overall it was 1900 to tune and delete it. I did a race tune. It's about 200 horsepower and a 5-inch straight pipe. So I could have saved a little bit of money. Like my last 6.7, I just did a mid-pipe delete, but I wanted the full 5-inch to keep the EGTs down while towing, and I just wanted that different sound. So the 5-inch is a much throatier, deeper sound than the 4-inch straight pipe or 4-inch mid-pipe delete. I don't know that I honestly, if it would have been a little bit of money savings, I probably just would have went with a 4-inch, but he didn't. The guy that does the tune and deletes, he either does a 4-inch mid-pipe delete or a 5-inch full exhaust. So because I kind of like that 4-inch sound probably better than the 5-inch, but he, like I said, he didn't do any 4-inch full deletes. The 5 probably is better anyways for towing. A little bit of EGTs that it cranks down. I did have one issue with the truck since the last video. That issue is my driver's seat the stitching is starting to come out, like on one of the seams where it meets on the butt pad. It's not like on the bolster on the side, like where usually you get the wear. It's like right on the inside towards like the center console. The stitching is just stretching or coming out. So I don't know if it's just a defect or if that's a common issue. I haven't heard of that. A little bit disappointing because I've had a lot of trucks that the seats didn't have that issue. Like even my last 2015 powerstroke with 204,000 miles, the bolster was starting to get some cracks in it, but I didn't have any tears in the seat. So, and this isn't really a tear, but it's gonna create a tear. So I did find someone to fix it. I think it's relatively cheap, like 200, 250 bucks. I just haven't had time to get over there and get it fixed. So I am gonna get it fixed hopefully next week, and hopefully won't have any other issues. I will say that I think the Ram, from my memory, the seats in the Ram hold up better than either one of my Fords. But the Ford seats are more comfortable than the Ram seats, and definitely more comfortable than the Chevy seats. I've had a few Silverados. My old Silverados were comfy. I had a 2005 Silverado. It was a 1500 Z71. That was like my first full-size pickup truck that I owned. That 2017 brand new Silverado 1500 Z71, and that truck, the seats were really uncomfortable, and that thing just had a ton of issues, and that kind of soured me on GM for a little while. My 2005 was a great truck. I oftentimes will say that that's probably the best truck I've ever had as far as like reliability. It was fairly basic, especially because of the year it was. It was fairly new when I bought it. It was like 3 years old. But compared to like today's trucks, it's a very basic truck, low on power, stuff like that. But at the time, the power was right in line with a lot of the other trucks that were out there, and I think that Cat Eye Chevy, is a really good looking truck. And they just, mine had the 5.3, and it was good. It was before they put in like the DOD disabling and stuff, and I don't know. But the 17 kind of soured me. I'm not saying I'll never buy a Durham. Like if I were to buy GM now, it would be a Duramax, 3500 or something. But I've never owned a Duramax. I wouldn't mind it. Like I said, I just had a lot of issues with my 2017 Silverado. Could have just been a bad apple, but you know how that goes. Typically, it's hard to go back once you've been soured on it. And I haven't. Every time I've shopped for a new truck, I will say I'm not loyal to brand, or I don't have brand loyalty really. I do like, obviously, doing RV transport, you need a heavy duty, and you're going to stick with American made at that point. But Ford, Ram, GM, I always look at all of them, and my only other issue with the GMs, and it's not valid on a new one, I think the new GMC and Silverados have like some of the best interiors out there now, but that's just in recent years. I think prior to like 2023, I think it is, the interior that GM was putting out from like, I don't know, 2007 to 2023, I just think they were always behind Ford and Ram. I think Ram definitely has had the best interior for, since their update in like 2013, and they've had a great interior in their trucks. So, like I said, Chevy now is caught up. I think they have a great looking interior, but when I've looked a couple times, I just couldn't get myself to pay the money for a GM and have an interior that is so outdated. That's why last 4 or 5 trucks I've always looked, ended up owning Ram or Ford, because I think at least I feel like I'm getting more for my money. But yeah, I know I'm kind of rambling on. This video should be more about this truck. Other than oil changes, fuel filters, everything is going good. Hopefully, other than the seat, I guess, but get that fixed, and hopefully we won't have any other issues in the immediate. I'll keep up on the oil changes, fuel filters, tire rotations. Brakes are still good. I need to do my I'm trying to remember what the name of it is. It's a filter. I'm drawing a blank. It's in some of my other videos. I have it sitting on my shelf. It's just been super cold in Chicagoland, so hopefully if we're getting some warm weather this upcoming week, maybe I can get out there, knock that out, get the fuel filters, and I've been doing oil changes at about 7,000-8,000. I think I'm gonna start pushing it to 10, just because I'd like to get that full month, and maybe I'll get an oil analysis, but I don't think that 10 is gonna hurt it. The truck, I was going by like when the truck tells me to, and the first time it was like right around 8,000 miles, but then the second time at 8,000, it didn't say to do it, but it was like kind of a warmer day and I had some free time, so I just did it. But now I kind of would like to push it to like at least 10,000 miles, just to save on some money. But we'll kind of cross that bridge when we get there. Fuel filters, I'm doing every other oil change, so right now they're going to be sitting at about 16,000 miles, but if I push it to 10,000 mile oil changes, that'll push the fuel filters to about 20,000, which I think is fine. I fill up primarily at truck stops, especially because I'm doing RV transport. That's my fuel card only works at truck stops, so the fuel that you get there usually is fresher, better fuel. So yeah, tire rotations. The first one I think I did at like 20,000 miles. I need to do it at, closer to like 10,000 miles because the wear was kind of uneven. So, if you've ever pulled a trailer a lot, the back tires will wear out faster. So I'm gonna try to stick to 10,000 mile rotations. And with that, they like the shop that I take it to, it's like $54, I think, to do a tire rotation, and they'll air them up if they need air. And then they do like a full check on it, like the full brake, suspension, everything, that if it needs anything. So I think that's money well spent. Oh, the filter that I need to change is the crankcase ventilation filter. So that's on my to-do list. Other than that, I changed the cabin filter during my last oil change, and then right before that I changed out my air filter because I was dealing with a map sensor issue. If you have any questions about the truck, just throw it in the comments and I'll make sure I answer those questions. Otherwise, keep tuned in. I'm going to make a video every month. I'll be fully transparent, honest. If there is any issues, I'll let you know. And if it's all good, I'll let you know as well. If it has a ton of issues, you'll probably see me in a different truck. That's just kind of how I roll. And I'm going to call this video the road 150,000 miles. I think I'm going to do it in like increments of either 25 or 50,000, setting goals so that we can see how long it takes to get there. But that's it for this video. Like I said, if you like the video, subscribe to my channel, like the video, and leave me a comment, and I'll make sure I answer any questions about the truck or RV transport, whatever you have.